so they can experience the lifelong friendship that we have.
Love you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get the honor of being the last speaker. So, just to prove that the acorn doesn't fall that far from the tree, Nick asked me, he said, whatever you do, Dad, don't embarrass me. So Nick told us for a minute. All right.
Do it. Do it.
All right. Well, now I can read my speech. Okay, so today we have witnessed a bit of magic, and the magic was that two people have become one. And on days like this, and Dick is in the cheap seats back there. How about a hand? Dick Harris is my longest friend. And he was at my daughter's wedding, and he said something very profound, which was that today you think you got married, but guess what? Marriage has got you. Yeah, you're not much truer than you like to think. So, with Nick and Valerie, if you have the blessings of having children, and I know that you guys want to, what you'll find is that the children will also encourage you to speak as one, be one as well, right? So you'll have a lot of opportunity to come together. And also, I see that the Val family and the Haug family are also joining. And
get your mind out of the gutter
tonight. Actually, I can see the success of giving a good speech that they have a lot of opportunities for everybody to have a toast, right? So anyway, I'm philosophical about tonight, and I was actually thinking a lot about my own father. And I noticed when my father's sitting, my sister's here, and I'm really happy that she can be here as well, because both of us thought a lot of C, right, Shirley? Yeah. And shortly after C died, I remember the day very clearly that I looked at Nick, and he looked at me, and I knew what he was thinking. And that is, Dad, I'm now in your shoes, right, and you're in your father's shoes. You know, and so that was the day that I saw Nick step into who he was going to become as a man.
How old is that?
I think you were about 9 years old. But anyway, today, this is acknowledgement of Nick taking one more step on that path to manhood.
Yeah.
Nick, you have fulfilled every expectation today that I have ever had. okay, guys, I threw out a couple of things, okay? Okay, and so when Nick brought Valerie into our family, I realized that some of the hopes and dreams that we had for Nick when he grew up was returning back to us. And what I noticed immediately was Nick seemed to be a lot more sensitive and a lot more loving than I had ever known him to be.
Yeah.
And so we were wondering what was all this about, and then we met Valerie's family. We met Pat and Loretta and Shar.
And Madison.
And Madison, thank you. That's right, man, we don't want to forget you, Madison. And we realized what all that sensitivity and joy that Nick was feeling, where it all came from. So, I just want to say that this is a time of celebration and joy and a commitment that Nick and Valerie have made to be joined as a team to go out there and face the world. And that's what Cindy and I have done when we were married and we took our vows. And your ceremony reminds me an awful lot of the ceremony that Cindy and I had. And we wrote our own ceremony, and it was a little different because it was under the redwood tree back in the 60s. But it's a ceremony that we created, and it came from our hearts. And that's what made the difference. And when the thin times came and the hard times came, I always remembered that we had that ceremony that we put together, and that's what got us through some very hard times in our relationship. So you guys are off to a great start.
Woo!
So finally, I want to close this by saying, Nick, I love you, and Valerie, I love you too, and welcome to the family.
Table 13 over there. We have speakers class for later, I think. Valerie, right? I know, it's anticlimactic, I'm sorry, but here's Kurt.
But right now, ladies and gentlemen, they are gonna say something at the cake, so you gotta stick around for the cake. And right now, we're gonna have the first dance. We'd like to have everybody